Today we're going to talk about something pretty radical. It's a new economic model where your personal data, that digital trail you leave behind every single day, finally starts creating real, actual value for you. Let's get into how it all works.
So, just think about this for a second. What if every single receipt that lands in your inbox, every trip to the grocery store, every time you even think about a future purchase, what if all of that wasn't just an expense, but an actual investment? What if that data, which right now is basically being vacuumed up and sold without you seeing a dime, could be used to build your financial security? That's the big question we're diving into.
And this really frames the world we're living in right now, doesn't it? In what we're calling the old world, which is, well, it's today, our data is the raw material, and we're the product being sold off. But this new model flips the entire script. You stop being the product, and you become a real participant. Your data starts working for you, and the value it creates is specifically designed to flow right back into your own pocket.
Okay, so how do we actually get from here to there? The answer is this new system called the marketplace. And the cool thing is, to understand it, we don't have to get tangled up in some complex new theory. It actually starts with an idea from the world of finance that you're probably already familiar with.
Think about a home mortgage for a minute. When you get a loan from a bank, that bank usually doesn't just hang on to it forever. Nope. They bundle it up with thousands of other mortgages, and they sell that whole package on something called the secondary mortgage market. Now, here's the crucial part. The investors who buy that package, they don't own your house. They can't just show up on your doorstep. They're just investing in the combined financial value of all those loans put together.
And that is the absolute core principle here. Just like you still own your home in that scenario, in this new system, you always own your data, full stop. The marketplace isn't about selling off your personal identity. It's about bundling the anonymous signal from your data and letting that generate a return that, you guessed it, comes right back to you.
So let's put a pin in it. What exactly is the marketplace? It's an economic system that takes your anonymized data, we're talking receipts, purchase plans, that kind of stuff, bundles it up with millions of others, and then auctions it off as incredibly valuable, high-level insights. And the money from that auction, it's built to flow directly back to the people who created that data in the first place. You.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But what's the actual nuts and bolts? How does a simple email receipt floating in your inbox turn into real revenue in your account? Well, it's a fascinating journey that has 5 key steps.
Now, I know this might sound a little complex, but stick with me. First, a private AI that's on your device, under your control, gathers up your receipts. Then, that data gets verified and made totally anonymous using a blockchain. Third, you've got human supervisors, super users, who act as another layer of protection for privacy and data quality. Fourth, a powerful engine gathers millions of these anonymous data points and turns them into a big-picture market signal. Think something like, hey, demand for electric cars is surging in this area. And finally, that signal is packaged into a tradable insight that businesses can then bid on.
Now, here's a really critical piece of the puzzle. It's not just about what you're planning to buy, it's when. The system uses this idea called the digital shelf, and you can think of it like a calendar of your future needs. Are you thinking about renovating your kitchen in the spring? Maybe buying a new car next year? That timing is exactly what makes the data so valuable, because bidders know precisely when to compete for your business.
And really, it all boils down to this. Knowing someone wants to buy a car is interesting. But knowing someone plans to buy a car next month, that is incredibly valuable information. Without that specific timing, that digital shelf, the economic signal is just too weak.
So, we've seen the data pipeline. Now let's get to the part everyone's waiting for. How does this system actually put money back into your pocket? Well, there are 3 main ways the value flows back to you.
First up, you get direct savings because you're cutting out all those expensive middlemen. Second, you get a direct share of the revenue from the data auctions. And third, and this part is just a fantastic idea, every single purchase you make helps build up your own personal emergency fund. You're creating a safety net for things like healthcare and housing, and it's powered by your own everyday life.
The difference is just night and day. Right now, your daily activity builds wealth for banks, investors, middlemen, everyone but you. In this model, that same activity builds your wealth and your safety net. The fundamental idea is so simple. Your life should build your security, not someone else's.
And that brings us to the really big vision here. Because this isn't just about finding a clever way to make a couple extra bucks from your receipts. No, the goal is way, way bigger than that. It's about fundamentally rewiring how our economy works.
You know, this quote just nails the entire philosophy.
Our current system is just hardwired to serve investors, period. The only way you can really change that is if you build a whole new system from the ground up that is explicitly designed to serve the people who actually power it.
And this is where the vision goes fully into the future. The idea is for the marketplace to become the proving ground for artificial general intelligence, AGI. But instead of an AGI that emerges to spy on us or manipulate us, the most powerful AIs in the world would have to compete in this open arena to see who can best serve verified human needs.
And what makes that possible is a commitment to radical transparency. This isn't like today's financial markets with all their black boxes and secrets. Here, every bid is visible, every transaction is visible, every flow of value is out in the open for everyone to see. It's not Wall Street behind closed doors. It's a global marketplace for all of us.
So as we start to pull it all together, what we're really talking about is a system where your private individual actions, like buying your groceries or planning a vacation, are transformed into public collective value.
It's a system where these little digital scraps of our lives, the receipts we usually just ignore, are turned into a brand new kind of currency that fuels a fairer economy. And at the end of the day, this is the ultimate destination. A world where you are no longer the product being sold, but a true owner and a participant in the value that you help create every single day.
So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. We've just walked through one really powerful vision for how our data could build a totally new kind of economy. But if you were the one designing it from scratch, what would be the most important thing to you?